graph coloring and come back to it. So again, this problem, Foquin's problem, I don't remember did I show you this slide or this slide was shown in some other set of slides, but this is how we can understand n-Queen's problem. This is one instance again of an n-Queen's problem. So all these problems, the map coloring, the crypt arithmetic and n-Queens, they are categories of problems, and I can instantiate them and get one instance of the problem, and I can try my algorithms, study my algorithms on that set, that particular instance, and figure out certain properties of that algorithm. So this is how this particular chapter is organized. So we'll talk about this problem again. What would be the way we represent this problem? This problem is uh, I can say that 4 quins in 4 columns as states. I can represent a state as that I can place anywhere 4 quins, one in each column, in that fashion. So that could formulate one state. So how many such state could be for 4 quins problem? 4:4. These many combinations I can have. So 256 different states can arise if I use this kind of configuration of the states. I just decide to place 4 quins each in one column. Okay, that is what I decide. So some of the states out of these 256 states will not be the solutions to our problem, because they may attack each other. The quins may attack each other in that particular scenario. So for this instance, this is a state which is correct state with respect to the state definition. Okay, so 4 quins are in 4 different columns, no 2 quins in same column. So it's a valid state by the definition of the state. But is it a valid placement of 4 quins on the board? No, it is not. What about this one? Is it a valid placement of 4 quins on the board? With respect to the state, this is a valid state for my definition of the state, but it's not a valid board configuration because these two pairs are hitting each other. If I count the number of pairs of quins that are attacking each other, here I will find that there are 5 quins attacking each other. Here count is 2, and here when I have again a valid state, 4 quins on 4 different columns, this is a particular valid state. So you see a theme here. When I see these arrow, you see a theme here where I start from a place where there is some number of attacking quins placed on the board. Okay, number of attacking pairs of quins placed on the board, and that number is gradually reducing, and ultimately it is reaching 0. So I do have some sort of a way to go about and use the state space search here. If I choose this particular thing, number of attacks as my heuristic function, I can use the learned understanding of A star algorithm, my learned understanding of any other algorithm that I was talking about in that category after A star. So greedy search was there, A star was there, but will it be feasible? That's the issue, and that is what we will try to understand when we try to relook at the solution of 4 quins problem or n quins problem in general using CSP way of solving the problem. Okay, I wanted to put this in front of you because I wanted to wanted you to recollect what is a n quins problem, what is a 4 quins problem. Now, yes, the last week's lecture we talked about uh, talked about assignment of a variable. Okay, and there were two kinds of assignment of variables. One was referred to as a complete assignment, and the other one was referred to as a consistent assignment. Now, all these three instances that you are looking at, the one that is here, the one that is here, and the one that is here. Okay, what could be the variables in here? Variables will be the row number. There are 4 variables. So 4 columns, 4 variables. Placement in a column can be represented with the row number. So I for this my 4 variables would be, and their respective values would be 3. Sorry, should write it using this. Should be 3 is not typing on the keyboard. 3. This is 2. This is 3 again, and this is 2. I should just pull it off so that it remains on the screen. Sorry. Where is straight sheet? It's not getting stretched, sorry. So this is exactly what this particular thing would look like. So there are 4 variables and each have values. So 3, 2, 3, 2. All the 4 variables have their instance value of row number in which the queen will be in that column assigned to it. Okay. So this is a complete assignment. All 4 variables are having particular value. But is it consistent with the constraint of the problem? No, this isn't consistent with the problems constraints. What about this second one? So if I copy this up and come up over here, again I will see that all the 4 locations I have values assigned, okay? And this is 2. This is again a complete assignment, but again not a consistent assignment. Why it's not consistent? Because it is having trouble with certain constraints. Certain constraints are still not followed. Now, what about the third one? So the third assignment that I have over here, which is 3, 1, and I guess 4, 2. This assignment is again a complete assignment, but that does not break any particular rule. So all the rules are followed by the third assignment. Okay, so we talked about these things called as assignment. Now, how to realize those assignments, what exactly we are looking at, that is what I'm trying to explain you. So complete assignment means assignment where all the variables have values assigned to them. Now, this particular way of looking at an n queens problem to define state, action, goal, test, and some evaluation function, we naturally can use a local search method here, hill climbing, or maybe something like an advanced version of hill climbing that gives me an optimal solution. Okay, what we had, do you remember the metallurgical equivalence of hill climbing? Simulated annealing. Okay, so hill climbing algorithm like local search algorithm like hill climbing, simulated annealing version of hill climbing, or maybe I could use A star, even A star, because I have a heuristic function over here. So I may choose from any one of these guys to be one of the solution for n queens problem. The issue with n queens problem though is it's going to have a very large state space soon when n starts increasing, and that's exactly what is highlighted over here. So the if we use a random initialization, obviously there is no initialization state in this particular formulation. We just will need to have a random initial state, and as n increases, my choice of initial states would also be very large to choose from. And again, certain problems in local search will only yield me a local minimum. They won't actually solve the problem, but give me one solution where it is half solved problem. Even if I use simulated annealing, I may require repetitively scheduling and rescheduling, randomizing repetitively, and I may not yield or get the solution in given time. So I may require a lot of excess time in actually navigating the entire state space to not to get stuck into a local minima or a plateau and still find the global minimum. Again, there won't be a single global minimum. I may have these multiple configurations available. So this problem also, this is one of the solutions, 4 queens problem. There is a second solution to 4 queens problem as well. Okay, so I may not be getting to this solution always. If I start randomly, I may get into some different solution as well. Here, the things look very easy because we just need to place this here, and take this here. 3 steps, I get the solution. But it's not that simple for an algorithm to function. We have seen how difficult for these algorithms to get past the issues that we faced in local search algorithm. Okay, so we'll come back to this discussion when we discuss the solution for n queens using backtracking search and the formulation which is called formulation of the problem which is called as incremental formulation. Generally for CSP problems, constraint satisfaction problem, we use an incremental formulation of the problem. That means initially there is all the state variables which are not assigned any value. Then we choose one state variable to assign a value from the domain. We check for the consistency. If the consistency is good for the problem, we choose next variable, choose another value from the domain, again cross check health of the problem, that is is any constraint getting violated or not. If no constraint are getting violated, we continue this process until we have all the variables assigned a value from the domain. That is, we get a complete assignment. So we start with a partial assignment. We assign value to one variable, and from there we keep on assigning values to next variable. We keep on doing this until we reach a complete assignment. If in this process anywhere, okay, we find that a particular assignment that we just made has flawed a particular constraint, a, a choice of domain value to a variable that we just did has void a particular constraint, then we backtrack, and that is what is called as a backtracking algorithm. So we'll just look at how these kind of algorithms are represented, and we solve constraint satisfaction